You don't do relationships just to have something to do. You don't connect with people just because you want to pass the time or fill the space. You know that when a new connection shows up in your life, it's because that connection is catalytic. We could say that the connection itself is catalytic or is initiating meaningful change in your life. But we could also say that connections show up for you and feel catalytic for you because they are a reflection of the change that you have already initiated in your own life. We can hold both of those as true about you when it comes to relationships. And I'm not telling you anything that you don't already know, but you know that you're in a season of great change. And you know that as a reflection of and or a catalyst for this change, you know that new connections are coming into your life. You can feel the energy of it. Maybe you're already seeing the evidence of it. You're already living in the energy of new connections. You're already living in a season of new love. And I mean love in all forms. Not only romantic love, but yes, romantic love too. And in previous cycles of change in your life, you needed relationships as a catalyst or as a mirror, as a reflection of your own internal change. You needed that in order to move through layers of healing, to move through layers of facing yourself, feeling yourself, integrating and tending to your wounded parts. You needed relational mirrors in order to catalyze and support that process. But that is not where you are now. You don't need relationships to catalyze healing for you now. This phase that you're entering and the relationships that are showing up for you in your life now, in this new phase, they're not about doing more deep shadow healing work. That's not where you are anymore. The relationships that are showing up for you now are reflecting back to you how you are actually remembering who you are in your own body, how you are remembering yourself as your original blueprint, who you were on a soul level before all of those early wounding experiences that forced you into patterns of survival when it came to relationships, patterns of codependency and stories about unworthiness or not belonging or not being enough. The ways that you believed that you had to overgive and overdo and overextend in order to try to be loved. You needed relational mirrors in the past to show you those patterns so that you could feel your way into the wounds that were underneath those patterns and tend to them. And you have done that. You have done that beautifully. You've done that masterfully, and you've done it honestly pretty rapidly in a really heightened and accelerated way in recent years. And you can feel the difference. You can feel yourself now actually living and relating as yourself. You can feel that you're able to actually attune to and move with the full knowledge and the full expression of your original blueprint now. And this is the you that you are ready to have reflected back to you through new relational mirrors now. The relationships that are showing up for you now in this new phase of your life are relationships that are here to reflect back to you the you that you know you are. Now you get to learn that you can receive love as the you that you know that you are. That is the lesson of this new season. It's not about you needing to fix or heal anything. It's about you learning how to be loved as you are. I got a really clear image from spirit about this phase. Typically, I tend to receive messages from spirit through my hearing, my clairaudient sense. But this message, for whatever reason, it came through to me really clearly with images. So the image that came to me from spirit was packing up belongings to move. And so maybe you are actually physically going to move. Maybe you already know that. Maybe that's something that might come as a surprise to you. Maybe it's something that you can kind of feel intuitively, even if you don't know exactly where this move might take you. If this is an actual physical move of location for you, you can trust that. But the energy of this packing image, it held a lot of simultaneous peace and excitement. I saw very few belongings in this image, and I saw help. I saw multiple hands helping with the packing. So this transition that you're undergoing, this change, this simultaneous ending and beginning, there's space for it because you've released a lot. You've released what you no longer need to carry, and you're only taking with you that which really feels like you right now. And you have a lot of support, a lot of support. As I saw this image, I did hear a message come through, and what I heard was this: nothing compares to the feeling of your first night in your new place. It might feel kind of random, but that's what I heard. And it brought up for me that simultaneous feeling of like, oh, okay, I did it. I made the move. And there's some relief of like, okay, I've actually arrived here. And there's that simultaneous excitement that comes with, okay, I'm here. Like, it's all new. How do I fall asleep now in this new place, right? There's your sense of relief after crossing the threshold and making the transition, but there's also this excitement because you're learning this new environment and new sounds, new sensory experiences you're settling into. You might be feeling a little bit of this right now as you're preparing for moving through this simultaneous ending and beginning, this recognition that you are leaving something behind and you're moving towards something new. The new is something that's very exciting, but there is also this sense of peace around it. There's ease there too. There's no anxiety around this. But there is a little bit of giddiness, maybe. It's like a grounded giddiness, if that makes sense. And the other image that I saw, and this feels very important because, whenever we move through big transitions, whenever we can feel that something new is on its way, but we don't know exactly what the timing of things will be, sometimes we can get a little fixated on that question of when. And you might have been a person in the past who would get really fixated on timing. Like, all right, I can feel that this is coming, but when is it coming? When is it going to happen? So this image that I saw was of a clock on a wall, but it was not a regular wall clock. It was just an open metal circle. It was one of those clocks where it's just the circle, no like inner material. Open circle with just the hands of the clock, but with no numbers. And it was made of gold. And the phrase that I heard that came to me immediately when I saw that image was golden hour. And so maybe that phrase holds some significance for you. But in this image, the clock was being taken down from the wall to be packed with the other belongings, along with some other gold objects that were also up on this wall. They were gold adornments, gold jewelry, specifically gold earrings, and also golden wings, like fairy wings. And if you saw the short that I posted recently, you know that I am pretty tapped into Fae energy. So Fae energy might be significant for you too. But there was this very patient, unhurried, grounded energy with which this golden hour timepiece was being taken down from the wall to be packed with the rest of these belongings. And what this tells me, the interpretation that came through for me from spirit around this, was that you have the capacity now to not be ruled by the question of time as you move through this transition. You have the power to actually work with time. You have the ability to make time feel open and expansive for you. You're in some kind of a magical partnership with time space right now. And if you haven't already, and if you feel called to, you might do a little bit of reading up on quantum physics and some of the things that quantum physicists understand about the sort of shared illusion or consensus reality of what we have been told time is and how time functions versus what we can actually experience of a relationship to and a shaping of time space. Linear time is perhaps much more of an illusion or a mirage than we have been conditioned to believe. And that's, of course, getting into the territory of magic and energy and the spiritual, but it's also getting into some of the ways that science is now starting to catch up to what you might already kind of feel and sense and know within yourself of the malleability of time as a spiritual being. So perhaps that is something you want to look into. But I bring up this clock image to say that you do not have to be concerned about time in this phase of your life. Time doesn't have power over you. Time is not working against you. Time is actually your partner in this shift, in this change. You have the capacity to bend time, stretch time, speed up or slow down time. You can work with time in the ways that you choose to work with it. So the timing of when these new relationships come into your life, the timing of, if there is a physical move for you, or if it's more symbolic of a big life transition or a timeline jump, the timing of all of this is really up to you and your energy and what feels aligned for you. So that feels really important for you to know right now. And also, the energy of gold feels really significant. You might be someone who already feels connected to gold as a color, as a material, as a frequency. And if not, you might start to notice that gold starts showing up for you quite a lot now. So I would pay attention to that too. Gold is a really powerful energy connected to the divine, connected to you recognizing your eternal and enduring energetic worth. Gold is really signaling to the purity of your heart and to stability and wisdom that is warm and loving and harmonious. You are entering your golden era, we might say. And this is a time where you can recognize how any old templates, any old patterns when it comes to relationships, you can recognize how they served you in the past, and you can recognize just how much you have let them go. You're carrying less stuff than you used to. You're carrying less with you when it comes to what you're bringing into a new relationship, because you're not carrying those old wounds and patterns, those old templates or expectations. And because you're not carrying all of that, it means that there's room, there's space for so much that is new, so much that is aligned with the you that you actually are to meet you now. There's space for you to receive now. There's openness for you to receive because you're not carrying all of the old. You're only taking with you what you need into this new phase. And it might feel sudden, this shift, this change, this move, this new connection flowing in. It might feel like it's happening quickly, but even if it does feel that way, you can trust that you are safe and that you are grounded within that change. You can trust that the ending and the beginning that you're experiencing, that it's all deeply supported and that you're not alone. You can surrender to that change and you can feel the simultaneous peace and the excitement in harmony and in balance. The last thing that I will say, the last thing that came through from Spirit is that if this message is resonating for you, there's one more thing that Spirit wants me to share. One of the best ways that you can support yourself through this change, one of the best ways that you can maintain your simultaneous peace and excitement as you surrender to this change, is to work really intentionally with water. If you have the ability to go to and be with, spend time near, or even in a body of water right now, that is great. That would be really supportive for you. And in fact, this is something that Spirit is saying you need to do pretty regularly, just in general, as a part of your energetic and spiritual maintenance and hygiene. So if you can be by, or even better, if you can be in water at this time, highly recommend that. And if you're not able to do that right now, that's okay. You can still find ways to work with water as you can. And maybe that looks like speaking affirming words over the water that you drink. Intentionally working with the energy of the water that you're actually ingesting. It might look like speaking to the water as you're taking a shower or a bath, thanking the water for the ways in which it is helping to cleanse you and to keep you clear and open and ready to receive what is coming to you. And if you happen to have a particular spiritual practice that involves any specific water spirits, if you know that you have a particular connection to any water spirits, this is a great time to be in very intentional relationship with those spirits. This is really going to help support the flow of change in your life. Flow as in the harmonious, peaceful release and letting go of what is ready to end, and also the simultaneous flowing in and receptivity of the new connections, new relationships, new spaces, new experiences that are here for you and ready for you now. You're no longer in a season of relationships showing up to teach you hard lessons or to call you to face difficult things in yourself. You've done that. You were willing to do that. You didn't shy away from that. In fact, You said, bring it on. Whenever love shows up in your life to catalyze change, you have always been a person who says, bring it on. And so now the energy that spirit is asking you to be in is, okay, bring on the fun, bring on the pleasure, bring on the peace, bring on the relational mirrors that reflect back to you your authentic energy, your original soul blueprint, the you that you came here to be, that you've worked so hard to return home to. That hard inner work, that's over. You've completed that. And, of course, this doesn't mean that you're not still going to meet and face and integrate deeper layers of yourself over the course of your life. You will always be doing that. That is a part of the human experience. But you're no longer doing that because there are these deep-seated wounds that you need to face and heal. You're getting to meet and face deeper layers of the truth of the power and the magic that you are, because you had the courage to face the wounds. You had the courage to face the survival patterns that grew out of those wounds. You had the courage to face and meet those parts with love. You had the courage to release what wasn't yours so that you could actually feel more of yourself. And now you are being asked to have the courage to meet the love that you are as it is reflected back to you. The magic and the power that you are as they are reflected back to you. It might feel a little bit like that giddy excitement, like that first night in your new place energy, and let yourself enjoy that. Let yourself enjoy being in this new energy even before the new place or the new person or the new opportunity materializes, because you already know it's here. And one of the ways that you bend time-space is by trusting that you feel that it's already here. One of the ways that you bend time-space is by actually letting yourself trust what you feel about the newness that is here, even if you don't yet see the material evidence of it. Trust it, surrender to it, flow with it, and let yourself feel this grounded giddiness, this peaceful excitement about it now. You are so supported. You have so much divine support, and you have practical human material support as well. You have everything that you need internally and relationally and spiritually to bring you safely across this threshold and into this new connection, new location, new phase, maybe all three. I think that is the message for now. There's been a lot that's been coming through for me lately, and I tend to move pretty cyclically when it comes to releasing these messages, meaning that sometimes I receive a lot and I let it integrate before I share, and sometimes I receive a lot and it wants to come through and be shared right away, immediately. And in recent days, I've been receiving a lot and allowing it to integrate, and I now feel myself shifting into more of a sharing energy. So I'll likely be back with more messages in the coming days, and I'll look forward to speaking with you then. If you resonate with the messages that I share here on this channel and you'd like to connect with me one-on-one for some additional support around entering into this new phase, these new relationships and environments and experiences, definitely check out the description for links to more information about my relational coaching practice, because I would love to support you in that way. Because what's coming in for you is really beautiful. It's really exciting. It's really powerful. And because of that, I know you might be feeling a little nervous about it. And it's okay if you are. You can seek support, and I am here for that support if you feel so called. I love you, and we'll talk soon.